got lots to talk about, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, isn't this a great UFO video from Paul Oglesby? He gets such great captures, really does. He's videoing this one UFO, and then he got this two other fast-moving objects going right by it, kind of making like right angles. I almost have to wonder if that's like the same object, just crazy, crazy stuff. Great capture of something that I think is legitimately anomalous. I don't think you could make the argument that that's a shooting star or anything like that. Making right angles or close enough to it. Very, very interesting. Love it. Love it. Anyway, today I just wanted to make a quick video talking about whether or not Donald Trump, President Trump, could, or somebody from his administration could give us UFO disclosure on the heels of Dan Ferry's movie, Aid to Disclosure, where you have people like Marco Rubio openly talking about secret projects, UFO crash retrievals, reverse engineering programs, and yeah, the existence of UFOs. People like David Grush have been bullish on somebody from the Trump administration, somebody from the executive branch doing something like that. So let's talk a little bit about it and get some thoughts on this. Here's what Dan Ferry has to say.
That this film reveals so much that has been deeply hidden for 80 years. It is a conversation changer. There's no way to put the genie back in the bottle, as they say. I've been getting messages from senior senators and people that are involved in the administration all weekend saying basically the door's just been blown open and the government doesn't have any choice but to walk through it in some regard. I think it's only a matter of time before we see a sitting president step to the microphone and tell the world we're not alone in the universe and that the U.S. intends to lead the way in this new chapter for humanity. I think that is going to happen as a result of this movie. The only question is when. I don't think we're too far off from that point.
Not too far off. The doors are blown open. And UFO disclosure has to walk through at some point, he says. Well, could it be in this current administration? Again, David Grush has been bullish on that. Ross Coulthart has also been bullish on that. Here he is talking about the chances of something like that again.
I do think the Trump administration is taking the issue seriously. I don't think they're involved in any active cover-up. I think they've been distracted by the Middle East, the economy and the war in the Middle East, particularly, and Ukraine. But I think there are people in the administration now who are turning their attention to the UAP subject. This is the biggest story in human history. I know it's true, and a lot of people in the administration know it's true, including, I note, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, Acting National Security Advisor. There are people now in the administration at FBI, Director of National Intelligence level, who are taking this issue very seriously indeed, and they are moving behind the scenes.
Well, that's what David Grush has said. He said people in the administration are taking this seriously and there is movement behind the scenes. Now, what exactly that looks like is the question. Is Trump directly involved? Is it, some of his people? What does it mean that the executive branch is involved and that there is movement behind the scenes within the executive branch? Is that somebody in the cabinet? What exactly is going on? What does that look like? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Now, according to the Project Preserve Destiny information from the Italian journalists, not only is Trump interested in this subject, but he's trying to take control of the UFO control group and has already taken partial control of the UFO control group away from the Pentagon, which is just super fascinating if true. Of course, I guess that would be the government side of things, not necessarily the side that's with the private contractors, with Lockheed and Boeing and those guys, which is obviously a substantial faction or multiple factions by itself. So you could have a government versus private issue with the UFO control group, which I think is very likely part of what's going on. But even if that information is not true, it does appear, according to Eric Burleson, that yeah, Trump has been read in on this stuff.
I want to preface this by saying this is not what I believe. This is what I've been told. Okay. He said that the Nordic people or the Nordic aliens are like a few hundred years more advanced than we are, but they're not super advanced. They're not like, he said the Greys, whatever is sending the Greys is extremely advanced, like thousands and thousands of years more advanced than us.
By the way, he's talking about David Grush. This is information coming from David Grush talking about these beings.
Because it's doing all the anti-gravity stuff, all the crazy all this crazy stuff that's very highly advanced. And a lot of it is what he says with the Greys is psionic. So they basically don't have physical interfaces. They're using their mind, and that there's an interface that picks up thought, and then that and that's how they operate these vehicles, is out of psionic. But the Nordic people somewhat resemble humans, and they have been experimenting with crossbreeding with humans. And he says some of them, that there are aliens that are crossbreeds living in the world. And I asked him, I go, okay, do they know that they're a crossbreed, or do they, like, how would you know that they are a crossbreed? And he didn't have an answer for that. Like he didn't know if they knew what, but he said that the briefings he's had talked about them. And he said when Trump was briefed on this topic, because Trump finally had a briefing, and he was in the middle of impeachment, like he was in the middle of being impeached. So he's going through that, and then he had like this existential briefing that just kind of rocked his worldview. He joked in the briefing whenever they said that there are these half breeds. He joked that Adam Schiff must be one of them.
Well, anyway, so hard to tell if this was Trump's first briefing or not. He obviously has been briefed about some of this stuff before, because he's talked previously about meeting people like Commander Dave Fravor. I don't know if he named him, but he talked about meeting military pilots and so on, or hearing about their accounts and taking them seriously. He has said previously that he believes that they're seeing some stuff. So it seems like he takes them seriously to a certain extent, but he says it's not his thing. At the same time, we have conflicting information from Ross Coulthart, and also Brigadier General of Israel and co-founder of Israel's space program, Haim Eshed, who both of them said that Trump was fully briefed not only on the UFO topic, but on like the totality of the topic, like even like the Galactic Federation and stuff. And that the Galactic Federation, per Haim Eshed, was interacting with multiple governments around the world. Trump learned about it and wanted to go public with it, but was talked out of it. Ross Coulthart, his take on it was that he was pressured out of it. So who knows if that is true at all, if he was briefed on the totality of it, or if the Project Preserve Destiny information is correct, and that whatever the case may be, he is trying to get control of the government's secret programs. Whether those stories are true or not, it definitely sounds like he has been briefed fairly seriously, even going into various races of aliens and so on. Of course, he's making jokes about it, talking about Adam Schiff. So I don't know how seriously he's taking it, if he's doing anything about it. But it does sound like there are, and also, by the way, I don't know if David Grush's information is correct about the Nordics. The technology level of the Nordics and the Greys and the reptilians all seems pretty much indistinguishable. They can all do pretty much everything that the other races can do. They can all appear to be the other races. They can all pretty much do the same sorts of things. I'm not buying that the Nordics are only a few hundred years ahead of us. It'd be nice to think that we were on par with one of these guys or close, but we're not. So I question Dave's information there. But yeah, it does sound like things are moving behind the scenes. The Trump does have at least some information about it. The senators are calling Dan Farrow, asking about this stuff. Ross Coulthart talking about this. David Grush is talking about this. That there is a shakeup behind the scenes. There is more people taking it seriously at a high level than ever before. And I don't think it's unreasonable to expect something to happen. Is that going to be UFO disclosure anytime soon in the current administration? Who knows? Dan Farrow didn't suggest that. He said sometime soon. He expects something sometime soon, whatever that might mean. So let me know what you think that means. I think we have reached not quite the tipping point. I think we're right before the tipping point. And I don't know if age of disclosure is going to be the thing that gets us over the edge or not. But I think it definitely got us closer to that. And for my money, the Nazca mummies should be the thing that gets us over the tipping point. I mean, we've got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies, y'all. And we really do. That's why those beings and those specimens are so important. If people would just take them seriously. This guy right here, Eric Burleson, held the severed hand of a giant dead alien in his hand. One of my favorite photos of all time. And David Grush is taking the mummy seriously. So, anyway, but I do think we're getting closer, and I don't think it's unreasonable to expect some action and to expect that a president will be forced to answer questions about these things in a serious way, not in a dismissive way. So let me know if you guys think we are getting closer and if you think that we have reached the tipping point or just before the tipping point. What do you think would finally nudge us over that precipice? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.